I don't even remember how to do this. Peter Piper picked the peck of pickled peppers. The peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Okay, so before you start typing in the comments, oh, Austin, where have you been? You haven't made a video in like 3 months. Stop it. Computer engineering is a very hard major. Plus, I've been watching a lot of Netflix. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Austin and I make tech videos, because you probably forgot. So what's been in the news recently? We got some smartphones, Galaxy S6, the HTC One M9, and some new wearables. So we got the Huawei smartwatch. Damn, that looks really nice. Wait, $1,000? No way anyone's gonna buy that. Oh wait, what? Apple Watch. $17,000? So the Apple Watch, I have mixed feelings about. Pros. 1, you have an iPhone. Right now, if you want a smartwatch that runs on iOS, you only have a few options. There are a few options out there that are essentially just regular analog watches that have really basic functionality like tracking your steps or just sending information to your phone. But if you really want a smartwatch in the full sense of the word, there's really just the Pebble. And the Pebble's great for a lot of people. It runs on Android and iOS. You can read notifications from it, and the battery lasts for up to a week. But if you're willing to sacrifice that all-week battery life for just 18 hours, then the Apple Watch is actually a pretty good alternative. Now, Apple and Android both took pretty different paths when it comes to their definitions of wearables. So for example, on my Android Wear watch of choice, the Moto 360, I mostly just use it for glanceable notifications and sending text messages using my voice whenever I don't have my phone in my hand or in my pocket. Well, the Apple Watch is gonna have basically full-fledged companion apps available right on the watch. So for example, at their press event, they showed the Apple Watch being used to call an Uber. It's very simple, but pretty useful. At least a lot more useful than sending your heartbeat. Number 2, the cost. Now, wait, hold on. Before you hit that dislike button, just hear me out. So there are 3 models of the watch. The Watch Sport starts at $349. This is the model that most people are gonna end up getting. It has an aluminum casing and a plastic band that comes in a bunch of colors, and it's way more practical in 2 ways. 1, you're someone that plans to use this as a fitness device, or you just like the colors, and 2, you're financially responsible. Then there's the Apple Watch, which is $200 more, starting at $549, and this comes with a stainless steel casing and options for a bunch of different bands. Of course, you can buy the bands separately, but as of right now, there are 20 different models available that come with rubber bands, leather bands, and metal bands that range all the way up to $1,100. Now, it seems like this is the standard Apple Watch, but as I said before, I'm pretty sure most people are gonna go with the Sport. And last but not least, there is the Apple Watch Edition. Now, if you're a 1%er, then $10,000 probably isn't a lot of money to you. But if you're watching this video, then chances are you're probably not. But if you are, you can get the Apple Watch Edition, which comes with 18 karat gold, and that ranges from prices all the way from $10,000 all the way to $17,000. So what's my point? Yes, they cost a lot of money, but what's the advantage? Status. Look at this ad. Now look at how close their lips are. Now what's on his wrist? An Apple Watch. 3, the design. So this is pretty subjective, but a lot of people are going to love the design of the Apple Watch. A big part that's going to play into that are these customizable bands. So a lot of people have different definitions of what a watch should look like and what a watch should feel like. So having these customizable bands is going to allow consumers to really customize their own Apple Watch and really feel like it's their personal device. Now, another important thing that Apple has been doing is basically trying to make this into a fashion statement. So I'm not sure if you know this, but the Apple Watch has recently been featured on the covers of Vogue China and Self magazine and was on display during Paris Fashion Week. So this is going to make the Apple Watch seem a lot more attractive than it actually is. So those are the main advantages, in my opinion, that the Apple Watch has going for itself. Now to move on to the not so great things. Cons. 1, you have an iPhone. I still see Android Wear as a pretty niche platform, but Apple is planning on taking smartwatches from niche to mainstream. And the only problem I see with this is the functionality that the Apple Watch has. They really wanted to do everything. Now, don't get me wrong, the apps all seem fantastic, but I'm not really sure that the regular consumer would want to use their watch as basically a primary input device. Now, a lot of people said the same thing about Android Wear, but I think that most people would rather have just glanceable notifications on their wrists rather than full-fledged applications running on their smartwatch when they have a fully capable smartphone in their pocket. 2, the cost. Now, this goes without saying, but the Apple Watch is really expensive. The standard model comes in at over $500, which is basically the same price as a flagship phone off contract. Now, again, I don't think most people are going to go for the Apple Watch, rather the Apple Watch Sport, but even at $350, that's a pretty tough sell for me, especially when there are other devices that work with iOS that are available for less than half the price. In fact, Pebble is coming out with their new watch, the Pebble Time, which I've got to say looks pretty similar to the Apple Watch, except that it's $200 and it comes with a 7-day battery life. Oh yeah, then there's the $10,000 Apple Watch edition. Now look, I get it. Some people do spend this much amount of money on luxury watches. In fact, a lot of them spend a lot more than $17,000 on their luxury watches. But here's my issue. So first things first, all three models have the exact same internal specifications. You don't get a better processor, a better screen, or even better battery life on the more expensive models. You only get better build materials, which is fair. 18 karat gold is expensive, I get it. But my main problem is this. The Apple Watch seems to be a new piece of technology first and a watch second, which means that unlike regular, more expensive watches, this thing is going to be outdated when Apple releases the new Apple Watch in 2 years or so from now. So I'm not sure that people who regularly buy luxury watches are going to be comfortable putting this much amount of money into something that's not going to last decades and will probably depreciate pretty quickly after 2 years. Those are just my thoughts. 3, the design. Looks okay. It's not a terrible design, but I'm not sure that most people will really want or buy into a smartwatch that clearly looks like a smartwatch if this is going to be for the mainstream average consumer. I mean, one of the main things that drew me to the Moto 360 was the fact that it looked like a regular watch. And this is coming from someone that typically normally wears watches, but not all the time. But I still wanted something that looked good on my wrist nonetheless. And I'm not sure if people are really going to want something that has all of these fancy bells and whistles and looks like a smartwatch rather than an actual watch. But that's just my opinion. People are either going to love or hate the design. So those are my impressions of the Apple Watch as of right now. I mean, I obviously haven't had the chance to use it myself, so take everything I said with a grain of salt. But I'm pretty interested in seeing what you guys think of the Apple Watch. Is this something that you're excited for? And if so, are you guys going to be buying one? And what model will you be buying? Personally, will I be buying one? Yes, because I need to actually try it out before I review it. But if it was just me in my personal life, I'm not so sure if I would be picking one up, at least this version of it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button if you did, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, be sure to share this video with anyone you think would find it interesting or useful if they're deciding to, buy an Apple Watch. As for me, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. And I think I'm gonna go sell my car to start saving up for this Apple Watch. Probably still won't be enough.